Hello, 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 and welcome to the Skywalker Saga Podcast. We're back.
Again.
Episode 5.
Yes.
They can't cancel us, baby.
No.
All right.
As we keep paying, we'll still be on the air.
Yeah, that $14 a month goes a long way.
And all the rights we pay to use the music.
The Real Facts Network.
People are just scratching to get in.
Yeah, you want to join?
Join our network?
Yeah. I was telling Chase, I don't think, were you in the room when I...
No, but I heard you.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking podcast that wanted to join our network.
What do you expect?
I don't know what they
What are we gonna do? Fund them or?
I don't know.
Maybe he was
I mean,
waiting to
I'm
hear
not
about
paying
that.
for them to host their fucking podcast. If they want to Venmo me $7 a month,
We should do it.
cut back on the costs. All right, this is what we do on this podcast. Every week we break down a Star Wars movie and we're watching them in chronological order, leading up to episode 9. Episode 9. Oh fuck!
You can never get through
Nines.
this.
What was that
all
thing
right.
in Destiny? Something of the Nines? What was the
Oh,
guy?
Trial of the 9?
Trial-
Or is that it? Or no?
I just remember
Fuck Destiny.
Who cares?
Fuck it. All right. We're leading up to episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I'm one of your hosts, Darth Mike.
Oh!
We got Emperor Tom to my left.
And I am Princess Persley.
I like that one.
Limited power.
Yeah. All right. It is episode 5. The Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's beloved favorite.
Everyone's beloved
It's got a
favorite.
little bit of everything.
It's definitely the darkest of all the movies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe Last Jedi gives a run for its money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And the
anytime
Revenge of the Sith's pretty
slaughter
fucking dark.
children it's kind of hard to beat that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Revenge of the Sith might be the darkest.
Yeah.
They definitely went all out, trying to be as dark as possible.
Yeah.
Many younglings are dead.
You're breaking my heart, Anakin.
All right, let's read the opening crawl. It is a dark time for the rebellion. Although the Death Star has been destroyed, Imperial troops have driven the rebel forces from their hidden base and pursued them across the galaxy. Evading the dreaded Imperial Starfleet, a group of freedom fighters led by Luke Skywalker. Is he really leading them?
Yeah, right?
All right, anyway. Led by Luke Skywalker, have established a new secret base on the remote ice world of Hoth. The evil Lord Darth Vader, obsessed with finding young Skywalker, has dispatched thousands of remote probes into the far reaches of space. That is your opening crawl.
It definitely, I mean, he doesn't give off the vibe that he's leading them.
Yeah.
He's,
No, it
he's
seems
there
more
and
like
he's
Leia.
contributing, but he's like doing his own thing. Yeah, Leia seems
Yeah,
way
it's
more.
definitely Leia.
Yeah,
Or that other guy.
It's
that,
man's
that they
world.
show in the thing.
I guess it's just a man's world.
I mean, he's off doing his, like in the beginning of the movie, he's off doing his own fucking thing. Look at it.
Yeah.
He gets attacked by a fucking Baba Yaga.
And if it wasn't for Han,
With no help.
if it wasn't for Han realizing
Yeah.
where the hell he was, like no one was. Like,
I don't see you in hell! The best line in the movie.
Cut out.
Integral to the plot.
Cut out.
Cut.
I wonder why.
I wonder what edition it got cut in. Because
Why?
that's in the DVD, which was from the early 2000s. I had a DVD box of that.
It can't be hell.
And it was in there.
There's no way that they would take.
It had
it
to
out.
have been the Blu-rays from 2000.
Yeah.
You
But
don't think
why?
it's a Disney
13.
Plus one?
No, I don't think it's this one.
But why
It has
take
to be
it
the
out?
Blu-rays.
Like what?
I'd have to check.
What's the point?
I think
That little
the
scene.
hell? I'll see you in hell?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's so weird it's not in the movie.
Is there no swearing in Star Wars?
No, I mean,
Has they ever said like shit or
no.
bastard?
Piss or fuck or
I wonder if there's
cunt
been
or-
any.
No, I don't think there is.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I can't even imagine in the new ones.
No, there's definitely no swearing.
Imagine if
Definitely
they-
some sexual innuendo
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some rapey vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Anakin gives off a lot of rapey vibes
Yeah,
in the prequel
yeah.
and Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah.
And so does Han in this one.
Yeah.
He pushes himself.
Yeah, Han was definitely playing the frat boy.
Yeah, like in the beginning, they're like not
No,
even.
you're gonna fuck me.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I know.
You're right.
You're right, and I love you.
Yeah, and
I
I
know.
love you. We're dating now.
Yeah, we're dating. I love you. All right, this movie came out in 1980. It is directed by Irvin Kershner, who also directed RoboCop 2. Anybody?
Oh.
wow.
And Never Say Never Again. Probably the worst Bond movie ever created. Have you seen this movie? It's like it's a weird James Bond. It's during the 80s they had, I think it was Octopussy. I think I might be wrong on this. It was Octopussy with Roger Moore. In the same year, they did a second James Bond movie made by different people called Never Say Never Again with an old fat Sean Connery.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think I've ever
seen
Never Say Never.
Yeah, it was weird. They had two in the same year because of weird rights issues.
Yeah.
So like a different company came in and made a different James Bond.
What the hell?
And this movie is so bad. This Never Say Never Again.
This is the same director?
Yeah, this is Irvin Kershner. Like he definitely, his highest
is this,
which is considered like one of the best films of all time.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely in the top like 50 American.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can
films.
instantly see the difference between this and the last one.
Oh, it's crazy how much more like character development there is. Like,
oh my, they're real. They're not all like we keep saying wooden. Like it is.
Oh god.
They definitely have a lot way better.
And RoboCop 2. I don't want to just let this go by the wayside. I want to say, have you ever seen RoboCop 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that movie? I remember seeing when I was a kid. And do you remember the little kid in the movie? He's like a drug dealing like little kid, and he dies.
No,
for
I
some
feel like
reason,
I just remember the
I've never
robot.
I don't
The
know.
other robot.
The other robot.
I never saw the
Isn't
second
there
one.
another one?
Dude, I don't really remember much about it. All I remember is this kid, this little gangster kid who dies, and I was like, I felt bad when I like can remember myself being sad for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely watched it a little too young.
Streets of Detroit.
Like I had RoboCop on VHS, and I lent it to my cousins, and they put it on for 5 minutes, and like in the beginning of the movie, you see like there's like a co-ed shower scene where they're like all naked and there's like tits and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like my aunt saw it and immediately turned it off and like didn't allow it, even though like I brought it over to show my cousins, and we were like, I was like 7,
Jesus,
like way too young to be watching RoboCop. Like my parents didn't give a fuck. Anyhow, yes, Irvin Kershner. And I think the biggest reason why this movie is much better than A New Hope is that it's not. The screenplay isn't written by George Lucas.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's written by Lawrence Kasdan, who also wrote Force Awakens and Solo, which was
Yeah.
But I mean, the difference in the quality of the writing is insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a better movie in general. Like,
Yeah, keep George Lucas as the idea man. Keep him.
yeah, he's an idea man. He's definitely a
Creative.
technical man.
Yeah.
He likes his technology and
Yeah.
all that shit. Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan also co-wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, and Solo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's got his hands in some really good movies. George Lucas is. I mean, A New Hope. It's a really influential movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even the worst Star Wars movie. It's just like kind of boring.
Yeah, when you compare him to at least the other ones.
But he directed that one and then all the prequels, and those are honestly some of the worst ones.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith is growing on me, but it's not good. It's not bad though.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. Oof.
I have some mixed feelings about this one.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm waiting to get to it.
Is it Yoda?
No.
Is it
Oh.
Yoda?
All right, we'll get
Yoda
we'll get to it.
I have some mixed feelings, and I feel like you guys are going to be a little put
Well,
back
I don't think
by.
Chase is going to feel anything.
Yeah,
Chase is numb.
yeah. I'm just numb.
I might get a little argumentative about it, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I'll say it might be something I don't care about. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it's most of the same people returning to the movie, except for Billy D. Williams as Lando.
Lando
Has an $18 million budget. It made $538 million.
Wow.
Wow.
Came out May 21st, 1980.
Hmm.
All right, let's move into what we liked and disliked. All right, Tom,
Let's do like first.
Are you sure?
you sure?
Yeah, because I don't want to just crap on everything and then have to be like, but this was good.
But this was good. Yeah, I guess we could.
I mean, the most noticeable thing that I like more, if we're comparing it just to A New Hope at this moment, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're watching them all in order, so we can compare it to all.
Yeah,
I guess
so we can compare it to all of them, but
Yeah.
then also just as a movie.
I just think it has some of the best stakes. I think, like with characters. I think like with fucking Mark Hamill. I think his character, Luke Skywalker's growth. What the fuck is going on?
You are at risk.
No, it keeps telling me we're.
You are at risk.
It keeps telling me to renew the fucking Norton antivirus. It's like, fuck off.
That's so,
Like, one notification is fine.
does it have the
God.
button where you can say like, "Don't remind me for 30
No,
days"?
it just popping up over and over.
Anyway, Luke Skywalker.
Anyway, yeah, I think this movie does a great job of showing his character growth, like from a kind of whiny bitch
Yeah.
in A New Hope to now like a Jedi who's a little too old. You know, like you can tell that, you know, he's not ready to be a Jedi, and I don't really
Yeah.
know how he gets to become a Jedi Knight
Yeah.
in Return of the Jedi. Like they never even show it. Like
Right.
you know, just at the end of the movie, he's missing a hand, and they kind of lost the little battle. But I just think this movie shows a good character growth with him, with his father. I mean, that's one of the best plot twists. I mean, we can't ignore that. In the time, this is one of the biggest plot twists in film history up at the moment.
Yeah, I saw it coming.
What?
seen the other
Yeah,
movies.
obviously now. Well, I mean, at the time, I mean, I can only
Yeah.
imagine being in the theater and being like, "What?"
I saw like recently a reaction video of like young kids now, like their parents showing them it, like being Star Wars fans, and like the kids' reaction to that one scene, like where they find out and they're like, "Oh,
Oh wow.
Yeah, because then you'd be like, wait, so he's Anakin?
yeah,
Yeah, because like the movie does a good job up to that point of separating Darth Vader and Anakin. You know, that like Darth Vader killed Anakin.
Plus Obi-Wan before too just said like he killed his father.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the movie also does a good job of the Han and Leia romance, as much as it is kind of not rapey. I mean, that's a harsh word, but it's definitely, you know,
A little forced.
It felt a little flat to me.
it's a little sexual harassment
It felt, yeah.
It's-
in the workplace.
It's I would say it's kind of similar to
Padme and Anakin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like it's like light and it's like you see like typical movie.
It
you
happens
see
fast.
You see the direction it's going.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's a little bit light and then it's just they're dating. Like,
Yeah,
cut to
yeah.
a scene and they walk
Yeah.
in and they're holding hands. It's like okay. So
But their
we're gonna-
chemistry in this is so much better. Though.
Yeah.
like you can't ignore Harrison Ford's swagger.
No, that
You know.
it's definitely better compared
Yeah.
to the Anakin and because that was a little bit because I think it was George Lucas's. I mean, the writing that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Him writing those scenes made it way more awkward.
And it's got some good catchphrases. The scruffy nerf herder. I mean, that's a good. People,
yeah.
you know, that's still a common line in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's very quotable.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's a better, more well written movie. It's got some iconic stuff with Yoda.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, you learn more about the Force. You know, it's got some cool iconic scenes like the final lightsaber battle, which I actually thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It was intense. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be fucking Jedi fucking lightsaber dancing to be
Yeah.
intense. That was intense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing Yoda weightlessly float around and fight Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones isn't as cool as this. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't compare it to that one, but I would.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I just don't feel
like,
I
like
don't-
Obi-Wan versus Anakin.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, there's some lightsaber battles in those, like the Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fight is
Yeah.
I think the best
Those are
they've
the-
ever done.
Those are the best of the flippy around
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the best
This
of...
we got to watch
fencing.
Return of the Jedi. I can't quite remember fully as many times as I've seen the movie. I got to see that lightsaber fight, but I don't think it's as good.
Yeah.
I think this is the best in this trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the newest trilogy hasn't really had an amazing lightsaber battle. You know, Force
Yeah,
Awakens
yeah.
has a really small one
Right.
at the end of the movie, and then they have that cool scene with the fucking Snoke dying, and
Oh, when they're
Last
both
Jedi.
in there. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you do kind of see like Kylo and Luke, but it's not really Luke.
Mhm.
But you do see them. It looks like they go at it,
Yeah,
but then you're like, oh, he wasn't there.
yeah,
It was a Force ghost.
yeah.
But-
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. Last Jedi, I haven't really seen from start to finish since the theater.
Really?
Yeah, when it came out, I put it on and I think I fell asleep.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just fall asleep.
Yeah, Force
During these movies.
Awakens I threw on a few times, but
Oh, I've seen the movie like
But
8
that-
times.
but I would also like usually probably falling asleep before.
I saw it like 4 times in the theaters, and I think like maybe 4 more times.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw it fucking 4 times in the theaters. That's the most I've ever seen any movie in the theater.
Yeah, it was like my sister was seeing Titanic back in the day. A handful of times.
That
when it came
how
out.
can you see Titanic more
I
than
know,
once?
I know.
That's such a long, depressing movie.
That's It was a love story.
Yeah, it's just Leo's hair. It's just so good.
The things I liked about this one, I think it's a lot of the same points where it's like it's definitely feels like more. It just feels like a bigger deal and like a bigger like operation.
Yeah, there's way more stakes in this
The
movie.
sets are better and like the writing's better and stuff like that.
Hoth's cool.
Yeah.
The fucking
Yeah, it was a good like
AT-AT
intro,
fucking scene
like
was
getting
awesome.
right into that, like a new world, like a new planet they're on.
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking Bespin, the fucking Cloud City. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the added special effects stuff. I mean, it's hard to tell if it makes it better or not because I need to see the old version to see if it really enhances
Yeah,
it.
kind of have to do like a side by
But
side.
I mean, it doesn't really take away from the movie.
This wasn't as obvious as the last one.
No, A New Hope.
A
had
New
some,
Hope had some
oh.
really obvious.
And then Return of the Jedi too. There's a whole fucking singing scene that they added.
Really?
Wait till we watch it next week. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. On fucking Jabba the Hutt's fucking fucking cruise ship that they're on in that scene. There's a band, and
Did
they
they
added
update
a whole.
Jabba the Hutt in that?
Huh?
Did they update Jabba the Hutt?
No, I don't think.
They
I
leave
don't.
him
I don't
as-
think so. I don't think
That's
so.
good.
But they added a whole singing scene, and you'll see.
Jesus.
It's fucking weird. Anything else that you guys liked?
The acting was good. The performances felt good. They felt better.
Noticeable improvement.
Less cardboardy.
Yes.
You know, they definitely indulged in the Star Wars world, and this one a little more. I feel like we got to see a lot. That was cool.
Yeah, they bopped around a lot.
Yeah,
Like when you almost think about it.
It's a pretty fast-paced movie. They don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some slow parts on like Dagobah, and then like the worm scene on the asteroid. Those are like that's when the movie slows down. Like,
Yeah.
a lot.
Because compared to A New Hope, that was like we were saying, when you break it down, they only do this, that, and the other thing. Whereas this one, there was at least a lot. Back
Yeah,
and
it's
forth.
it's also nice to have two different storylines going on at once. Like a
Yeah.
New Hope is literally the main characters. It's almost like Wizard of Oz. Like they're picking up people as they go along, and then the end of the movie.
yeah.
This is like multiple storylines going
The
on.
ending is weird in this movie.
You think so?
Yeah. That's one of my big things with this.
Okay.
This movie feels like it just ends.
Yeah.
It's like such an abrupt. Like all the battles finish, and then it's like that's it. It's like
And there isn't even like a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like
Yeah.
yes.
like it's Empire Strikes Back, but I guess it's just Hoth.
right.
Like they had a base, and they were rebelling,
yeah.
and
Rebelling hard in
they
the base.
took away Hoth.
Yeah.
And that's really what the Empire Strikes Back against.
And they
Right.
just
Other-
scatter.
Other than scattering and hurting the main characters,
Right.
is what another thing that they strike back against. I guess
Mm-hmm.
you know Han's gone.
Yeah.
You know, but we
Yeah, when it did end, I was a little surprised. And like when it got to that point, because you can tell it's ending. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of.
all right. Before we move on to dislikes, anything else we like, Chase? Anything you liked? I mean,
Yeah.
compared to New Hope, what would you?
I mean, like everything we said, it was more entertaining. I could like enjoy
Yeah.
a lot more of the movie.
I wasn't frustrated. Like A New Hope was starting to frustrate me. At certain points last week.
Or it was getting really.
Like that final scene when they're trying to blow up the Death Star.
Oh my
was
God.
So I don't know.
Because all I kept
Did not hold up.
thinking was, okay, if they're gonna blow you up from behind, what if you take all those people and then you even out like between each other, or someone trying to get behind them?
Yeah.
Like it was literally like there's a bunch of guys hanging out above, and it's like, all right, we're going in, and then they go in,
Yeah.
and then they come behind.
Oh,
and
it's our turn now.
Like shit, we got to do it again. All right, send
Yeah.
someone down below. Oh no, it's just like I don't know.
This lacked common sense.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah. I mean, I think this movie executed in a lot of things better, like the acting, the writing.
Like executed its story. Better.
Yeah, for sure.
and so many characters just stand out. Like I think C-3PO and R2 are good in this movie.
C-3PO was annoying.
You think so?
Yeah.
I kind of liked him through the movie because every time he spoke, he said he was telling them what's wrong with the ship.
Oh
and
yeah,
Han
I like when he's right. I just
he was
don't
right
like
the
when-
whole movie.
I don't like when he like some of his reactions sometimes feels weird.
I don't know.
He feels less like a droid and he starts to feel more like a guy.
It felt consistent with
He's
me.
like ah, like, it's like
I don't know. It felt consistent with me. I didn't really feel like out of
he started annoying me for some reason.
R2 was
I was glad
R2,
when he got blown up.
but he like I said on Dagobah, he just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like Luke isn't. He is. First of all, he's like 18. No, not 18. He's like 12 years behind a normal Padawan would be.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Let him train.
Yeah, I know.
Every time he's doing an important, meditating, focusing on the Force, R2's like, beep, boop, bah, 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 boo, boo.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Can't win them all.
And my biggest problem, I love Yoda in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a little jarring at first, but then I also forgot the major thing that he is fucking with Luke.
Yeah.
You know, he's testing his patience and stuff. But he's so fucking funny in this movie.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like-
he was very delightful.
I love when he's on his feet and he's doing the handstand. He's like, concentrate!
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
And his reactions. And I love how it's a puppet. And it's also like, you gotta remember in the 80s, like, there was the Muppets, there was
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like, movies with like this much puppetry weren't like that big yet. Like, you know, the Dark Crystal, you guys ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I've never seen
Like, that hadn't come out yet. Like, this is like one of the biggest puppet characters in movies at that point.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And like they focus, I love how they like zoom in on him, like
Yeah,
he's like
it's
a real
facial,
human.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's just looking. Like,
yeah, it's just two fucking
blank stare.
It's like the googly eyes.
Yeah, I just love Yoda in this movie, and it's so weird watching him comparing him to the old Yoda. I mean, not the old, but the prequel Yoda,
Yeah, what we've
because he doesn't look like him.
Or the new release Yoda.
No, in Last Jedi, he kind of looks like this Yoda.
He does act a little more silly.
He is this Yoda. The prequel
He's not
Yoda.
quite this Yoda.
Yeah, but he kind of looks like him. In the prequel, his head's bigger.
Oh no, I'm not talking about just look. I'm talking about the way his character acts. He acts in between, I think, the prequels and this movie. He acts like a middle version where he's a little bit goofy.
Yeah, because he
but then
burns
a
that.
little more
The tree
serious.
burns and he starts laughing.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he feels a little more serious. This movie's like feels like a little bit like he feels to me like a little too much like a Muppet.
Yeah, but that's only. I feel like he was definitely serious towards the end. Like the final scenes with Yoda are very serious.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "You will be."
Oh, yeah.
Like it's pretty dark to some of those.
No, it's just something about his acting, like the way the character is coming off. I
yeah.
understand that he's kidding, but it's just even when he got serious, he just feels a little like
Yeah.
it just feels a little Muppety to me. He doesn't. He
Very
feels
Muppety.
less like a character and more like more like R2-D2, where it's like he's supposed to just be like a we all love Yoda, we all laugh at him.
But I like his monologues about the Force and stuff when he's like trying to tell him. He's trying to.
That reminded me of when Luke tells Rey. When he's describing the Force to her, it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he learned it from him, you know?
Like he's trying to push Luke to lift that fucking X-wing out of the water.
I know, it just didn't feel authentic, like a real character to me.
Really? I actually really like that.
He
scene.
just felt like, I don't know. I
I love how he's describing the Force and he's like trying to tell Luke how to do it. And
Yeah,
Luke
yeah.
is just a bitch.
Yeah, and like
Tries,
and Luke like was all about getting here, right? It, like he gets told by Obi-Wan's Force Ghost to come here to get trained by Yoda, and as soon as he gets here, he's just whiny and complaining.
Yeah, he
and
loses all patience.
and all he wants to do is leave. And then
Yeah.
as soon as he sees that fucking thing, no one can stop him from going and getting his fucking hand cut off. And it's like
He didn't have to leave either. Like if he never left, Obi-Wan still would have been in Carbonite. Billy D. Lando and fucking his Colt 45 and Leia would have been on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
It would have ended the same way.
right.
Like they tried to tell him that.
And he's the one who wanted to go there.
Yeah.
He got a little hint and was like, okay, I'm in for this. And as soon as he gets there, it's like, like I've already know enough. I've learned enough. I've already learned.
But it's cool how like Luke Skywalker, he's flawed. Like that's why like people are so upset with Last Jedi and like that's not my Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what Luke Skywalker are you thinking of? Because from what we've watched, we're 2/3 of the way done with the original trilogy.
Yeah.
He's a flawed kind of bitch boy.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking real Jedi.
Right.
Yeah.
Like whether you want to believe it or not, he's already too old.
Yeah.
He's like what 21 in this movie probably. Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
He's too old.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
not
but
very
that's
good
like,
so far.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's too old, but you can't be like, he's too old next. Like, no.
No, like
he's the only
But
option.
we haven't watched Return of the Jedi yet, but he's obviously much better in that movie. He's like a real Jedi in that movie.
Right.
But in Last Jedi, like people expected him to be this. What the fuck? It's like I'm getting notifications for. First of all, it was Norton antivirus.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting McAfee antivirus notifications telling me to read.
Time of the month.
Oh my god, fuck off. Anyhow, I just feel like Luke Skywalker's portrayal in Last Jedi is consistent with his character.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also, it's just very controversial. Some people don't think so.
Yeah.
They want to be this heroic figure. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of consistent with like the way he's always been.
Right.
Mm.
You know, like
Kinda
look him in this
whiny.
movie. He did not want to get trained. If he wanted to get trained, he would stay there.
Right. And finish
Yeah.
the training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to tell him, like, Luke, trust us. If you stay here, you will get trained and everything will work out fine. Like they know they can. Yoda can see ahead in time.
Mm-hmm.
He's that powerful. Like
Yeah.
he knows probably that Leia and they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, him going, he didn't accomplish anything.
No, he got his hand chopped
Yeah,
off.
that's what he
Yeah.
got.
Like, dude,
Yeah. Like made no sense. Why is he leaving?
because he's a bitch.
Yeah.
But he's cool in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
He shows up to Jabba's palace in that black outfit.
Yeah.
He looks badass. He's got a green lightsaber.
So like that kind of annoyed me.
Oh yeah,
And,
let's move on. All right. Let's move on to
already-
dislikes.
Dislikes.
I want to hear what start it off. What's your
What's your
I mean, like I've already
controversial
kind
take?
of been saying here, it's like I just feel like this movie feels so much like a middle movie to me.
Oh, 100%.
It doesn't feel like it almost it almost feels like less happens in this movie than in A New Hope. Because I don't know, for me it's like it's just this movie doesn't conclude anything or do anything. Like you find out a couple things and there's some pretty important scenes,
Yeah.
but then like the stuff that I feel like I want to see out of this movie, like Luke becoming a Jedi, we don't see.
No.
It's like I would want to see him
see
becoming
that
a
off
Jedi.
screen.
I want to see him becoming a Jedi. I want to see them lay correct groundworks towards Leia and Han Solo relationship, which they don't. Instead, it's like I feel like I'm getting all gimmicks and like I don't know, like the Muppet fucking Yoda.
But
Like he's
I
all
feel like that's
Muppet-y.
they've kind of taken that and ran with it throughout the whole entire saga. Like Attack of the Clones, you don't even see the Clone Wars.
right.
Think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called Attack of the Clones. You don't see the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Last Jedi, like I don't even know what the fuck that movie is.
Right.
Like I like the movie, but like
Yeah.
it's like a direct sequel. It's the first direct sequel in the Star Wars movies. Like it literally takes place right after Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't even know what they accomplish in that movie. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
escape
yeah.
at the end of the movie.
Right.
You know, they don't win anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Yeah, because this movie was basically them just getting away.
yeah,
Going from, they were at one place, their spot gets blown, and then they just keep jutting along, trying to get
Yeah,
away.
it just
you
feels
know?
like such a middle movie. Like when they made A New Hope, they didn't know. They were hoping, but they didn't know if they were going to make more.
Yeah.
But when they made this movie, they knew they were making another one.
oh,
And they were like,
100%.
oh, we're just going to solve everything in that movie. And this movie's just a bunch of middle ground shit. And it's like, and for a middle movie, I'm not getting into the middle stuff that I want. You know,
But for a middle movie, it has some important things like Luke. You know, I almost said Luke, I am your father, even though in the facts, as Chase will say, that's not an actual line.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
What started that? That Luke, I am your father.
people just misquoting it.
Because that is a
probably when they
quote
left
that
the
you
theater.
will, anybody will think of.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's so weird.
Luke.
Like, is it from Tommy Boy? Did Tommy Boy start that?
Yeah. Year fucking
People are just
20
quoting
something
Tom
years
Boy.
later.
Yeah, I think you're quoting Tommy Boy when you say that.
I mean, you are way more you're 100% accurately quoting Tommy Boy and not Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's just like that middle feel of like, just like filler. It's like feels like such a filler movie, and they did so much stuff better in this movie, but then I feel so let down because like I knew that this movie is better. Like before even, you know, I'm like, I know this movie's better, so I can't wait to watch this movie. But then I'm watching it and I'm bored, and I'm like, I was less bored watching A New Hope.
Really?
Yeah, because I just felt,
How is that possible?
I don't know, I just felt more into the story and like the flaws that A New Hope had. Like, I don't know. The flaws that A New Hope had were like easier for me like to take face value, I guess. Whereas this movie I had more expectations for, and it let down on those expectations where I didn't feel like I was getting any like just any. It was more shell. It was better shell, but still less filling. Like it did all the main stuff better. It pulled better performances out of the actors. It had better sets. It had better writing. But then when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, I feel like nothing happens, and I feel like the stuff that I should see happening, I'm not seeing happen, and like I'm being like cheap shotted on stuff, like the relationship. It's just like fucking Anakin and Padme.
Uh-huh.
There's no, and even that I felt like had more because they knew each other when they were kids, and like it goes across multiple movies.
But I mean, this isn't a direct sequel to A New Hope. There has been time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
We are probably missing a lot of flirtation and character growth between Han and Leia.
Yeah.
So one can imagine that they've grown as.
Yeah, I don't want to have to imagine it. I want to watch it happen on a fucking screen. That's why I'm watching a movie. I don't want to have to watch a movie and piece together the pieces.
I just feel like
this stuff must have happened.
Anakin and Padme's relationship was much faster and much more unbelievable. Like literally unbelievable. Attack of the Clones is unbelievable.
Yeah, but this relationship is half a movie. By halfway into the movie, they're fully in a relationship. After one,
she does say "I love you" a little too quick.
One forced kiss.
Yeah.
He forces a kiss on her.
Oh my god, this fucking antivirus, dude! it's insane.
Like, and she kisses Luke in front of him to throw it in his face.
Dude, that turns him on even more, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I like Han Solo too.
He's into some dirty shit.
I like Han Solo too. I think he's cool. I think he's great.
Yeah, oh, dude.
But I think the relationship between him and Leia makes no sense and comes from nowhere.
Have you seen Solo?
It comes from nowhere. Where at least in the prequels, you see them in the first movie together, and you're like, oh, okay, he's got a crush on her. Then you're like, oh, he's been thinking about her the whole time. And they see each other again. Oh, now he's in charge of taking care of her. Oh, now here he is saving her life. Now it's like, now their lives are intertwined. Oh, now they care about each other so much. Now they're in love. Now they're going to have a kid. Now all their decisions are based off each other's feelings. Like, this shit happens movie to movie to movie. And this one, it's like, they're just working next to each other, and you can just tell Han just wants to get laid so fucking bad that he's just pushing himself on the hottest girl available until she caves. Yeah. And then she caves, and it's halfway through the movie, they finally kiss, it gets interrupted, and then the next scene, they're in a full-blown relationship.
Yeah, she's like kissing him on the cheek.
Yeah, it's like she's totally...
It is, when you do think about it, there's no monumental, like, he saves her kind of thing, or something, that tipping point of, like, goes from interested to, like, shows value.
That happened in the last movie.
Yeah.
They were saved in in A New Hope. They were saved.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? In this movie, it's
Did he save her? I can't even remember.
Luke saved her.
That's what I mean. There wasn't even like.
Technically, Luke and Han rescued her from the.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In the last one is when the saving happens.
But there's no like defining moment.
Yeah, no.
But it's like, where's the build? It actually would have made more sense to me if Luke and Leia got in a relationship, which obviously they're not going to have their brother sister, blah blah blah. But like, there's more groundwork there. And reason in my mind for her to like him than for her to like Han.
I just think their chemistry is so much better. It's like, I don't know, for me, even though it's rushed, probably, I guess it's quicker than Anakin and Padme because that's 3 fucking movies. Chemistry is so much better that it's like more believable.
All the chemistry comes from Harrison Ford. Carrie Fisher doesn't have any chemistry.
She's better in this movie than A New Hope.
She's good in terms...
Definitely better.
Her acting in terms of the whole movie is better.
Yeah.
Her chemistry with Harrison Ford, I don't see it at all. I just see him making advances on her denying him over and over and over again until she just gets starry-eyed and lets him kiss her. She never like says anything witty. I mean, there is that one comment that she makes at him in the beginning, but it's like, I don't know, it just felt lackluster to me. And then so did Luke's training. Luke's training felt so lackluster to me, and like, I expected more out of those scenes, and
it is weird watching it now. It's like they're just basically flipping around. He was doing flips.
That's what I thought too. Though I was
rocks.
The same thing. Like, oh no, because I haven't seen that movie and all the way through, and God knows how long. So then afterwards, like, oh, there's really not like a montage training scene.
I don't know if like
and everyone loves a montage training. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Don't do that like, oh, I don't want to be hokey or that's cliche. No. It is cliche, but you got to do it because it's fucking enjoyable.
Yeah, it felt lackluster to me. And then like, I don't know if I'm falling sucker to like the prequels, like action. Like I like action, and like I don't know. I just like it's a hard bite for me to go from like can Yoda even equip the lightsaber anymore? He's a strange little puppet now. He makes he makes soup and he fucking rides on the back of Luke like he's I
do admit it's weird how he was like 30 years younger, and he was flipping around,
Yeah.
fighting literally the Emperor in Revenge of the Sith 30 years ago.
He's just
And now he's like 30 years older, and
more
he's
like a guy.
Yeah.
Like he was like more like, I know he was bigger, but like maybe that's part of it too. Like he just seemed like a person.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual character. His name is Yoda. Now it's like a dirty sock, and that's Yoda. And I'm like, in the beginning, I was just like, oh, he's being so goofy, and then you're like, oh no, he's trying to trick him. He's trying to make him be impatient, but it just seems so out of character. But I know it's opposite.
And it's 1980.
It's opposite.
I think it's
This is
1980.
first.
I think they did a little cool character. You know, I think he's very funny, and I think he has some great dialogue, and it's also 1980. You know, it's not 2004
he's
or whatever.
supposed to be a Jedi warrior.
I get
he's
that.
not a Jedi
But
warrior.
he
he belongs on Sesame Street.
It's true. But George Lucas, as we've said, he fucked up the prequels because there's no consistency between the time jump. It's only 30. No, not even 30. It's fucking like 22
this,
years
I
or whatever
feel
by
like-
now.
Yeah.
Because when we were doing the prequels, if you know, as our listeners have been listening, I was defending his ability to connect these movies to do it from the behind and connect it back.
But the
into
more we watch these,
but Yoda is the biggest flop in that term of making a character that can go into the originals.
yeah,
Like, I feel like he did a good job with Anakin and showing, like, okay, this is how it happens and how he turns evil. And then, like, Obi-Wan and, like, their
Obi-Wan's
relationship.
fine. Yeah.
Like, all that stuff I feel like was done pretty well. Yoda is by far the worst transition. The way he made Yoda in the prequels does not plug
it's not
into
the same Yoda.
Yeah.
the Yoda
It's
we
not.
watch.
Probably the Yoda that he wishes.
And it's tragic.
Yeah, it's the Yoda he wishes he could have made in 1980.
Yeah, and for me, I like prequel Yoda better. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's
But I
almost
feel like
like
this
I can't
Yoda-
say that.
This Yoda has much better dialogue than anything.
The dialogue in
I
this
can't
whole
quote
movie,
a fucking thing Yoda says in the prequels.
Yeah,
the dialogue in this whole movie's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hands down, the dialogue is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if people would say like the reason why he's all decrepit and old is like because the light, the force or whatever is, like the Jedi power is down or something or some bullshit. But at the same
can see
time,
that.
20 years for him when they live 1,000 years is like a
day.
few months for us.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the other thing too that I don't know why
dramatic
he seems,
change.
Yeah, like why he
Yeah,
seems
maybe it's just
so-
like isolation and being cut off from the Force has aged Yoda dramatically.
Yeah.
He's gone a little crazy.
And he's also gone off the deep end, and he's kind of like living with Force ghosts.
yeah.
You know, like people will pop in every
makes a
now.
little
You know,
more
Mace
sense.
Windu may pop in for
I
Code
just
45.
I hate that I like the prequel Yoda better, and that like I can.
You
it's-
hate yourself for it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like that because
Yeah.
it doesn't even make any sense because this Yoda was first.
Yeah.
So
the
I'm
one
like,
that you
I'm
should-
in my mind watching this movie, I'm feeling like they changed Yoda too much, but they changed Yoda too much the other way.
Yeah.
But I like the changes.
Yeah. Okay.
So now
I see what you're saying.
I'm torn.
Yeah.
Watching this movie, I'm torn.
Yeah.
And then I also like Luke better. I like Luke better in the new movies than I do in these movies. I don't really like Luke in these movies. He's kind of annoying. And he's just like ungrateful of everything, and he's never willing to like give 110% towards something.
No.
He's always just winging it. And fucking Han's good. I like Han in
He's
this
always
movie.
winging it.
Yeah.
He's always winging it, dude.
That's
He never
true.
just fucking buckles down and does the right thing. He's always doing the wrong thing. But I like
But
Han.
that's
a lot.
why it's consistent.
It is
That's why he's
consistent.
flawed.
It is consistent.
Yeah, he's flawed. And
Like he almost killed.
He
fucking-
almost turns on Kylo Ren
Yeah.
just for that 1% chance
Makes
that
sense.
he might turn bad.
makes sense.
And he turns him bad by turning on him.
Gives a
Yeah.
lot of reason to like Kylo better.
See, if people just sat back and watched these movies for what they are, they would agree with Last Jedi, which is what Ryan Johnson probably did.
Yeah.
He
it
watched
just
these
makes
movies
me
over
like-
and he said, Luke is not Luke that people think he is.
Right.
He's this guy.
Right.
He's a
Yeah.
fucking loser,
I
kind
agree with
of.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean, I love Luke, but at the same time, he's kind of a fucking loser.
Honestly, you kind
And
of
an
feel
idiot.
like he's not as powerful as all the like obviously like Anakin or Darth Vader seems like he's way more powerful than Skywalker
Right.
based off the prequels.
Yeah.
And like that, and so far now, like because I don't know, he just seems like he's way more equipped,
Yeah.
and people back him more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I just like I miss the like the Obi-Wan the fucking Qui-Gon, like the wise, the calm, the making the correct decisions, the taking the time to do the right thing. Like,
But this
that's
guy-
what a Jedi is supposed to
But
be.
he's also untrained.
He's untrained.
Like we just witnessed some of his
He's winging
training,
it.
and it was very fast, and it wasn't really training.
Yeah.
Like that's like not even beginner
And
level.
then just
By recycle
immediately,
out, you will.
immediately go get
That was orientation.
yeah.
That was like, are you sure you want to do this?
Right.
Like, let's have you run and do some flippy flips.
And then he just immediately go gets his hand cut off.
I gotta go.
So it's like, I'm just so torn. I felt so torn watching it, and then I also felt like this movie just suffered so hard from second movie being the second movie in a 3-movie part. Like almost like
I like it in a 3-movie arc. I think this movie's a perfect middle movie. It
it's
lays
too
the ground.
much of a middle
It
movie.
lays, yeah, but it came out in 1980. Okay,
I want more out of this movie.
we got
and less.
at certain points you do have to factor in when it came out. You know,
Yeah, which I was good at doing with A New Hope, but with this one,
you
it's
heavily
just-
did it in New Hope, which is why I think why are you turning? You're turning a little on the other end. A New Hope, you were like really into the nostalgia,
Yeah, I
and in
don't
this
know.
movie, you're kind of
It
like
didn't happen.
turning
here.
against it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
it's a little
watching
inconsistent.
I have to
If you
be
will.
honest with how I felt watching the movie. I can't just come down here and be like, "No, I'm wrong,"
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
like and not agree with what I feel.
Everybody's opinions are their own opinion. I don't really care about
Watching it, it's just it captured me less.
Yeah.
This movie captured me less than A New Hope
that.
did.
But like you said,
This movie captured me less than Revenge of the Sith did.
well, I think like I said, I think Revenge of the Sith is growing on me.
Right.
No, it's not a terrible movie.
Because as a movie, it still at least tells a lot of story in one movie. And then I don't know what New Hope just like lays groundwork. It's the first one. This one just keeps laying groundwork. Stop laying groundwork.
But like you said, at the end of A New Hope, before it came out, they didn't know if they were going to make the second and third one.
Yeah.
But then it was a huge hit, so they could plan a second and a third.
Yeah.
And I think this, for a second movie, perfectly lays the groundwork for a third one.
Right. Yeah, it does a good job setting up the next movie.
Yeah.
But
like
as a
10
single-
out of 10 job for
As
me,
a
at least.
single movie,
Yeah. This isn't my favorite Star Wars, so I'm not going to fight you 100% on this.
Right.
I don't really care.
Revenge of
Revenge of the Sith. Return
your
of the
mind.
Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So, boom, I'm done. So,
Well, man, you might change your mind.
Yeah, now I'm like worried
actually,
watching.
don't say that.
Because going into A New Hope, I thought I was going to hate it. I liked it. Now going into Empire Strikes Back, I thought I was going
Dude,
to love it.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Kind of hate
A
it.
lot of people like A New Hope. Like, a lot of people, that's like their favorite Star Wars movie.
A New Hope.
A
It's
New
like,
Hope, yeah.
That was boring.
It's like
I'm with you.
it's like opposite. It's like as
You like the full, not
as a single movie.
yes. You
I
like
like
the
A New
single
Hope
movie
better.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a single movie, I like A New Hope better. But then like the outer structure, like the framework of it is flawed,
Yeah.
right? But then with this movie, that framework is great. But as a single movie, I feel so unsatisfied.
Yeah. I can see that.
You know, and that's where I'm having trouble. I think I reward movies better when they hold up by themselves more.
Yeah.
For me.
All right. Well,
And then the ending. The ending is just so clear cut, abrupt. Just leaves you.
yeah.
It was like it reminded me of Matrix
Oh my God. don't say
Reloaded.
that. Actually, it is kind of similar to Matrix Reloaded.
where it's such a second movie.
Yeah.
It's such a
Yeah,
second
but Matrix
movie.
Reloaded is a very second movie.
Oh, it's such a second movie.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't just watch that one. You have to watch
The
the
best
next one.
second movie of any movie is The Two Towers. That is the most complete second movie out of any second movie.
That's a great example of a second movie that holds up as a single movie.
Yeah, like that might be the best Lord of the Rings movie.
Right.
Is the second one,
Right.
And it's a full fucking movie. And
Or-
there's still a
or-
small cliffhanger, obviously, at the end with like Frodo and fucking Sam
Or
going off.
Toy Story 2.
Well, those are.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
Those are more like isolated stories within
Yeah.
a.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's go over to the facts, man. We're running a little long here
Oh, let me get the
because
facts.
we still have to talk about a quick thing.
Oh,
about
yeah.
Oh,
Mandalorian.
the breakdown of All right, so I'm gonna speed read these really fast.
Man, I don't know what I'm going to give this movie. I'm struggling here.
Give it whatever your heart
Fumbling-
feels like.
I'm
All right,
fumbling with
some
it.
of those aren't numbered. So
Two out of- two out
I
of
know,
10.
I know. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird how some of them aren't numbered. So we'll start with the most obvious one. Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I am your father." The most well-known line in the film is often commonly quoted plot twist in which Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father." However, that quote has been misquoted for decades. What he actually says is, "No, I am your father." Not Luke, I am your father.
I wish I could find the ordinance.
He actually says, "Luke, I'm your dad."
Yeah.
Luke, I am your stepfather.
Yeah. You are the father.
Maury Povich is there and he introduces him.
Yeah, the Emperor shows up.
You are the father. Oh, I
When
told
it comes
you.
to Luke Skywalker,
Yeah, you are.
Darth, you are the father.
I told you, bitch. I fucking told you.
Fucking told you.
This was actually pretty interesting. In the theatrical release of The Empire Strikes Back, when they filmed the Emperor where he kind of gets beamed in and he's talking to him.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, that's definitely not the original.
Yeah, and the original, and it even shows this little picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Fuck.
So this is so weird.
He's fucking
In the
weird looking.
original, they filmed this scene. It was portrayed by a 78-year-old woman named Marjorie Eaton. She was wearing heavy makeup, and they superimposed chimpanzee eyes on her. And her voice was dubbed over by Clive Revel. But then eventually they ended up fixing it, like as far as they carried.
Yeah,
over
because
it.
that I knew instantly because that's the fucking Palpatine from like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly tell, like his
Right.
eyes,
Yeah.
and his glowing orangish eyes.
Yeah.
So this was interesting. So the famous lightsaber scene with Luke when he's in the cave and he's trapped by a wampa. They filmed it in reverse when he grabs the lightsaber. So instead of obviously like how it's shown, the lightsaber comes to him. He was hanging upside down, threw down the lightsaber into the snow, and then they reversed it.
That's some smart filmmaking.
Yeah,
It is.
There was another movie where they did something like that. Oh, Pulp Fiction with the needle.
Oh yeah.
They did that.
They
in
went up
reverse.
and set it down.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher actually had to stand on a box while filming this movie and performing fellatio on Harrison Ford.
She's a little spinner.
No, but yeah, she did have to stand on the box for most of the.
She
the
would blow some
dialogue.
wine. She'd take her fingernail and put a fucking line in her nose, and she'd go for a spin.
Oh yeah. Well, she would go for a spin because Mr. Harrison Ford is 6'1" and she is only 5'1".
Wow.
Oh.
She's tiny, huh?
Yeah.
That's
So
a
she was is what we call a sit and
Oh,
spin.
yeah.
and she was fit in these movies.
Yeah, she's hot.
The blizzard scene on Hoth was actually a real blizzard. They were filming in Norway, and there was actual blizzard conditions, which ended up halting the film. But the director decided to use the blizzard to film the scene on Hoth, in which Luke is riding his Tauntaun and gets knocked out by the Wampa.
Tauntaun. Those
Wampa.
fucking disgusting innards. Fucking tubes
Yeah,
and
what
shit
is
that
it,
comes
maggots?
out.
Like
Yeah,
clear
maggots.
white.
Oh, get in there.
So this was interesting about Boba Fett because it talked about some TV special, which I wasn't too aware of. So this wasn't the first appearance of Boba Fett.
Yeah, the
Although
Christmas special.
Although the Empire Strikes Back was the first Star Wars film to feature the character, Boba had originally appeared in the San Anselmo Country Fair Parade in 1978 and had a so it was separately. That was a parade, some weird ass parade. But then had a large I was like reading them like, wait, what? A parade? A role in the holiday special.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Star Wars holiday special was considered to be so bad that George Lucas himself said, if he had a sledgehammer, I would track down every copy of that show and smash it.
Yeah, because I don't think I think you're probably watching it on YouTube, maybe, but I don't know how you even watch that.
Yeah, so I guess Boba Fett.
Because like you see Chewbacca's like family in it, and he has like a family, like a wife and kids. And,
Really?
yeah, and like Boba Fett fights like a T-Rex in like a weird digital short thing. And it's fucking
This is not canon.
no. I don't think that's part of it. Like,
I'll at least end on this since it's Yoda related. The original name for Yoda was not Yoda; it was Minch. M-I-N-C-H.
Wow, Minch is a Yoda. His species doesn't have a name. It's commonly called the Yoda species. That's what it's called in the
Yeah.
books and stuff. There was what is it, Mitch?
Minch, yeah,
Minch?
M-I-N-C-H.
Minch is a Yoda species from the Legends books,
oh,
and he's a badass Jedi warrior who was like more like even stronger than Yoda in terms of combat.
Yeah.
And he was a Jedi who was more in touch with the dark side. So, but he was still a Jedi, but he was very open to the dark side and using its powers. And because of that, because of his use of both the light and dark side, it made him like super, super powerful. And he takes out in the books, the Legends books, he takes out like one of the most dangerous Siths ever or some shit like that. And he's like actually plays a huge role and is like, super badass.
You know what
That's
I would?
funny.
Too bad those aren't canon anymore.
You know what I would love to see too is like some like even standalone like prequel movies where it has all the old like Sith like leaders or whatever. Or,
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like the Legends, like it's okay. There's two Star Wars. There's Legends. There's canon. Legends doesn't exist in canon.
Yep.
But whenever they want to make something new, where do you think they draw it from?
Yeah.
They draw it from the
Ben
fucking
Solo
Legends.
is a name from the Legends.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the shit comes from. You know, it's just they just pick and choose and take out the cool stuff. So it would be cool to kind of see, but there is just a lot of shit that goes on in there. I mean, we can get into that when we talk about the Mandalorian because I think it has more to do with that than this.
All right. Reviews, baby.
The reviews are in, folks. Japan sends over bombs. All right. I'm going to do the good review first. 10 out of 10, the best film in the original trilogy. May 2nd, 2000. The Empire Strikes Back is the best film in the original Star Wars trilogy. It has all the great qualities that the original Star Wars has, great effects at the time, appealing characters, and lots of spellbending action. It also has eliminated some of the problems that plagued the first. The storyline is tighter and goes much deeper into character development. The performances are terrific, especially by Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. George Lucas has also remembered to include a spellbinding battle sequence with the snowspeeder sequence near the beginning of the film. The conclusion with a lightsaber duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker is truly one of the most suspenseful and dramatic scenes in the entire series. This is a truly wondrous film and serves as a constant reminder that just because a movie is expensive and a blockbuster doesn't mean that it has to be shallow and two-dimensional. This film will undoubtedly entertain viewers of all ages from start to finish. So, I mean, I guess...
Yeah, I mean, it stated a lot of the stuff we've already talked about.
Yeah. I think the points he makes are strong, good points. You know, and if you wanted to give this movie a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, those are the points that you would lean on. All right, then usually I go just for like a 1 out of 10, and I just read one of the worst ones I can find, right? But the 1 out of 10s for these were so bad. People were like one person started off their 1 out of 10 review, and it just said, the Star Wars movies are some of the worst movies ever.
Yeah,
right? So it's like, how can I even...
Yeah.
It's just like you don't even have...
there's no critical thinking in that.
Yeah, your opinion's not valid. So I kind of had to search for this, and when I have to start doing that, I just start jumping up from 1 star to 2 star to 3 star, which can be hard because like there's generally more 1 star reviews than there ever is 2 star reviews. If you hated the movie that much, you're just going to give it 1 star. But I found a decent 4 out of 10 star rating. 2 out of 5 is what he titled it, but he gave it a 4 out of 10. We get basic math. January 12th, 2003. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, rather suffers from middle child syndrome. So you can see why I picked this review.
We can see.
We can see. Being the second, being the second
I'm
of
going
the...
to search until I find something that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, I wanted something that I'm like I said, I'm not going to read a review that I think makes dumb points.
No, I know.
I'm going to read a review that I think makes...
Read it.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Read it.
Stupid.
Being the second of the original trilogy has neither the fresh appeal of originality that marked its predecessor, nor is it required to reach any conclusions. The result is a film with a decidedly minimalist plot development. The Empire is still hunting down the Rebel Alliance. Luke Skywalker is still training to be a Jedi, and, well, that's pretty much it. Instead of a solid storyline, the viewer is treated to 122 minutes of cobbled-together battle sequences. The characters, however, have developed considerably since the first film. It's nice to see loyal Chewbacca show a sense of humor. The sexual tension between Princess Leia and Han Solo is palpable until they kiss. In a clever twist, Yoda the Jedi Master is not a Hercules-type warrior, but a wizened green dwarf. The characterization would have worked even better had he not had a voice like Sesame Street. In the special edition of episode 4, A New Hope, there is an obvious and uncomfortable chasm between those scenes which have been unaltered since they were shot in 1977 and those that were originally remastered and altered 20 years later. Fortunately, the same is not the case for episode 5, but why was it necessary to darken the picture contrast so drastically? I don't know. I didn't really notice that, but I did notice they definitely, like we said, they made a lot more changes to A New Hope than they did to this one. But they did make some changes.
I think out of the 3, I think Empire actually suffered the least from the amount of changes.
Really?
Yeah.
And then just to finish it, for fanatics, The Empire Strikes Back is, of course, an integral component of the Star Wars dynasty. Viewers with a more casual interest in the story could probably get away with skipping this installment altogether. And I have that question. Do you guys think that's
You cannot skip this movie.
You don't think you could skip this movie? And
No.
You think you'd be lost?
Yes. You got to see.
Don't they confirm something about... Don't they confirm the whole father thing in the next one?
Yeah. They confirm it. But, dude, that's one of the most famous scenes in film history.
Right.
You can't skip that.
I'm not saying you should. I'm saying, could you watch A New Hope and then watch Rise of the Jedi?
No.
Return of the Jedi and not be lost? Or would you be lost?
Because when he goes back to Dagobah and sees fucking Yoda again, right when he dies, it would mean nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Han and fucking Leia's romance concludes in the 3rd one. You know, with them finally getting together because they've been apart for, I forgot how many years between Empire and Return of the Jedi, but it just means more. You know, it does set the groundwork. You can't skip it.
Yeah.
Even if you hate it.
Skip it. Yeah.
And his points, I actually don't even argue with any of his points.
Right.
Except for that part.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
But I think that's why I chose this because I think
I was actually
points out a lot of the things that bother me about the movie.
Yeah, it definitely goes to your point.
When we were talking about the middle movie too, like I was gonna say, I think it's so tough when you know you're doing a trilogy and you have a middle movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard to make it feel because just like it is, it's not something new, brand new. And you know that it's not going to end because there's a 3rd movie or another. At least you know there's another movie coming out. Mm-hmm. So it's tough to
like Last Jedi kind of tried their most to not make a 2nd movie as much like this. You know, like they don't really rely on who's Rey's parents. Like
yeah.
They kind of like throw that away. It's like, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
who's Snoke? Don't worry, we killed him.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, like Last Jedi tried their fucking hardest to not be like Empire.
Yeah.
You know, like. Empire, it did come out in 1980. You know, it was very original then, but now the trilogies aren't uncommon now.
Yeah.
You know, any movie can get a trilogy.
Yeah.
You know, Captain America has a trilogy.
Despicable.
Iron Man has a trilogy.
Did they do a 3rd Despicable?
Despicable Me has a fucking trilogy.
Yeah.
Toy Story had a trilogy, but they made a 4th one, so that's over.
They tainted it.
But like, there's trilogies aren't. But back then, you know, like even Indiana Jones wasn't even out yet.
Right.
You know, he got a trilogy.
Right.
So like. You know, you gotta remember it is 1980.
Yeah.
You know, it was original then.
Yeah, but I think that things that 1980 holds this movie back on, it does fine with. Like it being 1980 doesn't hold back any story. Like you can tell story the same as you can today in 1980.
It's true.
Just because there's never been trilogies. Like when we were comparing A New Hope, we were comparing it to movies like Jaws or movies like Rocky because those movies came out around that time and tell fine stories.
But I feel the big thing with you is that it doesn't have a big final battle scene, right? I mean, it feels like you.
Yeah, this movie just feels.
So if they added
hollow.
a big attack scene where they had a big battle, it would be better than A New Hope for you.
It would be better. This movie would be better to me if like Han Solo actually died.
Really?
Like if something.
Imagine
I'm
that?
not saying like.
No, but like
I'm
imagine
not
if they
Han
did kill
Solo
him.
has to die. I'm saying if something permanent happened in this movie.
Yes.
If something in this movie happened.
If Chewbacca died.
Yeah. There was a big battle, and Chewbacca.
That's true.
Chewbacca dies saving.
The
Luke.
only thing that dies is Luke's hand.
Right.
And
this
Darth
movie
Vader's
doesn't
generals.
hold.
in many employees of Darth Vader.
This movie doesn't hold anything that could have only happened in this movie. Other than, sorry, Luke, but I'm your papa, which is the famous line.
Yeah.
Other than that, which, if you look back, I think it was like still kind of up to interpretation. I think a lot of fans picked it apart back then.
Oh yeah.
And
So a lot of people thought he was lying.
right.
Yeah.
Because of how much they had hinted towards Anakin and Darth being two different people.
Yes.
And all that stuff that people still didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And it took until the next movie
Yeah.
for it to finally be solidified.
What a fun
it's
time
like,
that must have been.
even this movie doesn't do that.
3 years of waiting
Oh
to see
my
that.
God.
Imagine that.
Bro.
Like, we don't have to do that nowadays.
Right.
They bang these movies out every 2 years.
Yeah. Well, we waited for movies. What's a big wait that we've done? One of the
Hobbit.
Avengers.
All the Hobbits.
No, the Hobbits were banged out like once a year. Remember? It was like one a year for 3 years.
Avengers? What about...
I guess Avengers by themselves.
I would. Yeah, maybe Avengers Infinity War we waited kind of long, right?
Yeah, because there was
But there were so many movies in between, so it's like hard to really.
Yeah.
That's not really. You can't.
Yeah, I guess
consider
this is worse.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
that. That's true. That was a long
That's a
time.
long wait.
Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
It was a
Anchorman
long
2.
wait. Joe Dirt 2.
Oh what?
oh,
yeah, that's a movie. I forgot.
Oh wow! I actually forgot. They really did.
Yeah,
come
that's
out,
a movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What's a movie we waited? Matrix 4. That's coming out. I think
Female lead.
next year.
Well, what about Star? I mean, from
Wait, is there really a Matrix coming out?
Yeah, I don't think they started filming it. Yeah, but they're doing it.
Is it female lead?
No, I don't think it's a female lead.
I think it is.
I mean, Star Wars. Wait, after Episode 3, what was the next Star Wars to come out? Was it?
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine that gap. You
Oh,
think Star
yeah.
Wars is over at that
Yeah.
point?
Yeah,
1983 to 1999,
Yeah,
16 years without a Star Wars movie.
Wow.
that's pretty long.
Like,
and then what was it?
2005 to 2015, 10-year
so
gap.
10 years. And what came out in 2015?
Force Awakens.
It was Force. There wasn't like a side story.
Man, it feels like just yesterday we were going to see that.
Yeah.
that's
And then the
crazy.
botched thing, we had to
it
go to
was purple-
Swansea.
That was 4
screen.
years ago.
4 fucking years ago.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Time flies.
Yeah, that was a botched job.
I remember
I've
being
never
at the
seen one.
pizza place in 2013 or 12. I forgot which one it was when the Disney acquired Lucasfilm and they announced a new trilogy is coming.
Yeah.
It feels like that was just yesterday. That was
when
fucking
we were doing TGM Uncensored.
Yeah, that was around. Yeah, that was like literally after that time. And that's
Yeah.
when the Force Awakens like production, all that shit really started. Was in the TGM days.
We've been covering
Good
it
old
all.
days. All right, we got to move along. Let's
Metachlorians.
give our reviews. Yeah, how many Metachlorians? Chase.
I will give it a 7.5. I think that's the same.
That's your highest.
Yeah. Oh, it is my highest?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I thought it was tying something.
No, Revenge of the Sith is your highest with the 7.
Oh, I'd give it this a 7.
No,
Yeah.
really? Tied with Revenge?
Yeah.
All right. I can't. All right. Hey, dude, I'm not going to argue with anybody. I don't really care.
I
give a
don't know. I
fuck.
guess it would say, but I feel like it'd be. I don't know. I feel like I'm giving my bigger reviews for the newer movies. Bigger
Really?
scores.
Okay. 7. It's going in the record books.
I'm just trying to think of why I would give it, because if I give it a half point more.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, I want to give it as a 7 because honestly I think next
Okay.
one I'll do 7.5.
What'd you give
I
A
got it
New
all
Hope?
planned out.
You give A New Hope a 6.5.
Yeah.
Tom.
Can you read me my reviews?
Every week you make me read your fucking reviews.
I know. I like to just put
All right.
myself there.
Phantom Menace, you gave a 4.
Yes.
Attack of the Clones, you gave a 5.5.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith, you gave a 7. A New Hope, you gave a 7.
Yeah.
Empire, you are giving a 6.5.
5.
A 6? I'm just trying to gauge on what.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it's a what?
Yeah, to what?
Yeah. I give this a. I'll give it 6.5.
So it's your second highest.
Give it a 6.5.
All right, I'm giving it a 9 because I'm not retarded like you guys. You guys are nuts.
Think so?
You guys are nuts.
Really?
That was a fucking fantastic movie.
Really?
You guys are nuts.
Wow.
No, it was good.
Why?
We'll see.
I love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I just think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The acting's great. Yoda's awesome. The stakes are high. The tension's high. Just because there's no gigantic Death Star scene doesn't mean shit. It sets up the third one perfectly for an epic conclusion in the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the third one.
So what are you going to give the
I
next
give it
one?
an 8, you know?
I might honestly give it, just because I think it's the best doesn't mean I think it's a better movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what I'm going to give it.
9, huh?
I appreciate its greatness. There's a reason why it's considered one of the best films. I'm not making this shit up. Look it up.
Yeah.
It even says it on its Wikipedia page.
No, I don't care about his Wikipedia page.
No, I
care
know.
about
I'm
what
just
you
saying.
think.
Oh, a 9. It's just nothing's changed. That movie. This is the first Star Wars movie where the expectation going in, leaving, I felt the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every other movie has been kind of a, besides Revenge of the Sith, has been kind of. Actually, no. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith grew on me more.
Yeah, you were surprised by Revenge of the Sith. Yeah,
Phantom
and by
Menace.
A New Hope.
Yeah, in a bad way. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This movie, I walked in and walked out the same way.
Yeah.
Nothing changed for me for this.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Ah, man, I feel so let down by this movie.
hey, that's how I felt watching Phantom Menace.
I felt so bored. I was like struggling to even care.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I do not feel that way. But hey, it's all subjective, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely enjoyed this a lot more than New Hope.
Really?
Yeah. A New Hope was all right. It just I was bored a lot quicker and a lot more often than this movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's also tough for me because I didn't watch a lot of these. I wasn't hardcore into Star Wars, so now it's like now my point of view is from the ground up.
In the newer movies, you're
They're
more
captivate
invested.
I mean,
me
I know
more.
like
You're more
no
invested
one,
in
no
the
one's
movies.
going to agree with me, but I just like I don't know.
There's probably people out there, man. I guarantee there's people out there who probably feel the same.
'Cause
you just found a review that said the same thing you said.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
So
I
there's
know,
people out
I
there,
know.
bro.
But I gave Revenge of the Sith a higher review,
People like that movie.
and I feel like people would like castrate.
Not only
it
that,
for
there's
fucking-
people out there who I've heard on like Screen Junkies and stuff. That have you already heard of Screen Junkies?
Yeah.
Where there was this guy on there. There's this thing called Movie Fights, where it's like a debate show.
Mm-hmm.
There was this guy who competed on it, who was like a hardcore George Lucas defender,
Mm-hmm.
to where he thinks the prequels are like genius. And I was like, it was blowing my mind, but at the
Yeah.
same time, there's people out there who think that.
Yeah.
You know, that George Lucas is Star Wars,
Right.
and that the new movies are fake,
Yeah.
which I don't agree with, because I think anybody can make Star Wars.
I think like a lot of the arguments that people make about Rise of the Jedi, or
Revenge of the Jedi.
Revenge of the Jedi,
No, Return of the Jedi.
yeah,
Now you're confusing me.
the new one,
Oh, Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that people say are bad about that movie, I think are kind of similar to what I'm saying about this movie.
Wait, Last Jedi?
But I feel like
No, what movie are you fucking talking about?
not the newest. No, not Rise of the Skywalker, The Last Jedi.
Thank you.
I feel like
You're
a lot of
confusing the fuck out of
I feel like a lot of people, like, with the stuff that they say about that movie
Yeah.
is the stuff that I feel like watching this movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like no one would say that about this movie.
No, this movie has like kind of an aura around it that's kind of hard to.
Yeah, like no one, and the same person who would hate on that movie would
Yeah.
never watch this movie and be like, nothing goes on in this movie. This movie sucks. They ruin characters. Like, I feel like Yoda's been ruined.
I'm actually excited to watch Last Jedi because I'm starting to feel, we'll see
Yeah.
how it is when we watch it, but I don't know. I just feel like they might have got him right,
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, well, that's our thoughts on Empire Strikes Back.
Here it is.
It struck.
All right, should we talk about Mandalorian?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what do you think, Chase?
I liked it.
You liked
It's
it?
good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Definitely good. Engaging. Interested to see what the little baby Yoda
Yeah.
figure all that out. I like how it kind of captivates you, where you need to answer all these questions.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of they
Yeah, I'm
definitely
just
have
hoping.
you
I'm just
hooked.
hoping they do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're gonna learn. I don't think we're gonna learn that much
about
No,
Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
We're in for the long haul. In this, the fact that they just launched a streaming service and they have this show, I'm sure that they would love for this to be like a launch series that they're gonna just pump out for a long time.
I don't think we're gonna
Probably.
learn a lot about like Yoda's species. Like I don't think like it's gonna.
Oh,
Get,
no,
it's gonna
no.
get a
How-
name.
yeah,
We're gonna.
'cause
I don't think we're even gonna find out where this Yoda came
How
from.
included is George Lucas with this stuff?
Oh, no, nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Okay.
zero.
Because I know George Lucas has said like about Yoda that like again if it was up to him he would never tell.
I think that's consistent. I don't think they do. I don't
like
think
where
they
Yoda
break.
comes from and
it's like
a,
the home planet.
And I don't
no
think
one
I
knows
never
where
even
the
gathered
planet
that
is.
from the show. I never thought like, oh, here we go. They're gonna exploit the Yoda character and where he's from and what his name is.
Yeah, because I think that's what a
I
lot
don't
of
think
people
that-
like. A lot of people are expecting like to find out
Oh no,
who this is, where he came from.
I think-
is this Yoda
no.
and Yaddle's baby?
no.
Like all the fan theories, like it's like did Yoda and Yaddle have a baby?
Uh-huh.
Like that's what a lot of the fan theories are saying. Like
I just don't believe
those
that.
are the only two of the Yoda species that they've ever showed in canon. So it's like, oh, did they have a baby? And then that's why you never saw Yaddle die when they execute Order 66. You never saw Yaddle. She's just left out in the fucking cosmos. Or did she bear a child and they kicked her out of the Jedi Council because you're not supposed to do that?
They're
And
never.
then she
That
fucking-
is way too much
that's way
explanation.
too much.
It's never
right?
gonna happen.
They're
Yeah.
never gonna tell us any of that.
It's a baby, just like Yaddle and Yoda was at
It's
one
just
point.
a species.
Yeah.
It's just a baby.
It's
And
just
they're not
showed
going to
up.
explain shit.
You're not gonna figure out who he is.
it's like 50 years old, around
Yeah.
50 years old. So
Yeah, and I thought it was weird having just watched Empire Strikes Back. He said, I've been training Jedi for 800 years, but he's 900 years old. He's 50 years. If that baby Yoda's 50 years old, double that age is old enough to start training Jedi?
Well, I think he's like 900 something years old.
So triple that age? A 7-year-old?
They say they age in different ways.
Well, it's species ages. In
Yeah,
different
yeah,
ways. They're
yeah.
the same species.
I don't know. I think the only thing we're going to learn about that baby is what they want from it and who wants it.
Yeah.
Is what we're going to learn.
Yeah.
It's like what's its purpose, why people don't want it, why they want it dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to learn. We're never going to learn a fucking thing about it.
we're gonna learn more about the Mandalorian through the relationship than about the baby
Exactly.
Yoda.
Yeah, yeah.
Because going forward, once this whole storyline ends, it's just going to be the Mandalorian again.
Yeah.
And we're just learning more about his character, how like he's all about money and getting steel and rebuilding the Mandalorians, but at the same time he's from what I've gathered is that he's a good guy at heart.
Yeah.
He's not going to kill babies. He's not
Yeah,
gonna,
no. I think it's I'm cool looking forward to it where like the show will be about his adventures. And, like where it's like, he'll obviously do stuff in it'll be like a string, but it'll be kind of cool like, bounty hunter going after bounties. Like that's kind of a cool thing. And just by doing that, you could keep it going for the most part.
Yeah, and I going into it when they first announced it, I was like, oh, cool. It's probably like 1 hour drama, Star Wars show. But now it's like, it's just 30-minute
Yeah.
little short episodes where they're high quality,
You think
fun.
the next one's going to be 30 minutes too?
Oh, I was listening to one podcast, and they were saying like the first one was 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the highest. The average episode's probably gonna be 30 because that's what the second one was, and then maybe the finale will be a little longer,
Wow.
like 40 again.
Yeah, I was surprised by
That
how
sucks.
short it is. Especially if they
But it
only
was
do like
fun
8
how-
episodes.
I don't care. Like,
That's
I'm not
true.
scared to say it just because it's a
Yeah.
good show or because it's Star Wars. That sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's just like a 5. It's like it's gonna end up being, instead of like an 8-hour thing, 8 1-hour episodes, it's gonna be like a 5-hour high quality, almost movie quality.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take that over?
Yeah, if it was all released at once.
Yeah.
I don't like it
But
watching.
they can pump it out faster. Like Game of Thrones got so bloated in its technology and its costs and stuff that
Yeah.
it took 2 years for one season.
Yeah, but then they need to do something where there's more episodes or something.
Yeah, maybe.
8 half-hour episodes. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, maybe they'll do more half-hour episodes. But like, I'm fine with half-hour episodes as long as they're high quality and stuff. Game of Thrones got to the point where it just became too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they're happy we cared that the final season was coming out
Yeah.
because it's so long. It was almost 2 years between seasons.
Yeah.
That's fucking too long.
And
Yeah,
they
it's a
blew it.
long time.
And they blew it.
Right.
Yeah,
but if they didn't blow it, none of that would matter.
no, that's true.
If it just maintained quality.
Yeah.
It didn't even have to end on a 10. If it ended on an 8, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
It's because they blew it that we fucking can even criticize it.
Yeah.
And they like pushed it out because
It's just
used to go be a lot slower too, slower paced. Game of Thrones when it first started.
it's just weird that they're releasing one episode a week and then it's only going to be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, dude! YouTube content put out more.
I'm a little worried. Is the Obi-Wan show going to be like a 30-minute show?
Yeah, like dude, that sucks.
Is the Hawkeye show going to be 30 minutes? Like, is this their? Like, you got to take as their model.
Yeah,
you know?
is this the model? Because
is this
it's so
their model?
high quality?
That's what I'm saying. High quality 30-minute episodes.
Oh, it's
like,
trash.
is Hawkeye going to be 30? Like,
Dude, I don't want all week for 30 minutes. Fuck.
release it all at once.
Yeah,
Even
it's
Survivor
hard.
comes out with a 2-hour episode here and there.
Yeah, well, that's some high quality shit.
That's my quality shit. We're
Yeah.
talking.
I'm not going to tell Bethany that it might only be half an hour because she already hates the fact if I watch something that isn't like already completely out.
Yeah.
So like when we watch this and there's something else and she's like, so you're fucking telling me it's.
That's the
gonna
other
come out?
thing. If they're
So
going to
we
do the
don't have
half-hour episodes, release the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like the easiest fix to me. Oh, we're only going to do half-hour episodes. All right, release the whole fucking season. Then people will just binge watch it, and no one will even care.
Yeah.
I'd binge watch a 5-hour long fucking dope ass Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I'd binge that. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But instead, I gotta wait half hour. It's like a Madden challenge, like a little bit every week for fucking the next 7 weeks. Like, ugh. Like, better stay tuned.
But it's high quality shit.
I'll just wait. I'll just wait all the way until the end and fucking. I do that to even.
You
the best
say
shows.
that, but you won't.
I do that to even the.
You
best
know we're
shows.
watching it on Friday.
I'll fall off a show midway through its final season and wait 2 years to finish it. I've done it before.
Yeah, for leftovers.
Yeah, and I did it to fucking True Detective.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it again.
True Detective. Those other seasons weren't even
Because I want
fucking worth
content.
it.
I don't even wanna watch it.
I don't want to like be all excited, make my dinner, sit down in the living room, turn the light off for a fucking half hour. It's like it's so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It's such a letdown.
But it's not like it's the first half-hour show it's ever made. Like, half-hour TV shows have existed for...
Yeah, cartoons.
No,
Rick
sitcoms.
and Morty. Rick and Morty is half. Yeah,
Sitcoms
an episode of
and-
The Office is a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's shorter. That's shorter.
Yeah, it's like 21 minutes, 23 minutes.
It's actually like weird when you watch, because I actually just restarted The Office a couple days ago, and I'm on like season 2 already because season 1's like 6 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's like episodes are so short.
But you'll
you
bang
can
out like
actually
3
rip
episodes at
through
once.
it, Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, 1 hour you can watch 3 episodes.
Right.
Like, it's insane.
It's like I want more to chew on.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna eat ice cream, I don't want one fucking spoonful of ice cream. I want a fucking whole bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so let down.
But
I still think it's great.
we're all positive on the show, right?
I still think,
Oh,
I still think it's good.
Yeah.
And
I think it will tie into Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I think there's something like one of the podcasts I listen to, something's going to happen that's going to not directly tie in, but it's going to be like a hint of what we're about to watch.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because the Marvel shows are gonna do that.
Yeah.
So if this is their formula,
Yeah.
then I guess that makes sense.
Is this like is this basically after the episode 6 essentially between
Episode 7 is the same week that Rise of Skywalker comes out.
Oh, okay.
This is before Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
Before
yeah,
Force
this
so
is
it's
5 years after
episode 6.
Yeah, this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
15 years before Force Awakens.
Mm.
So
Yeah, because the stuff I heard, because when there's that scene with the guy that gives him the Yoda bounty, and then the doctor comes in.
yeah, and it's supposedly his patch has to do
He has
with
a patch on his arm
with the
that has a
cloning.
symbol on it, and that symbol is the same symbol
Oh, is it
from
cloning?
the cloning
yeah,
people.
yeah, I saw
the people
that.
from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, from
those
Kamino.
fucking weird aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kamino,
Kamino. Yeah.
What if it's prepping us for Baby Yoda to be in the new Star Wars?
Either that or it's just
So yeah,
something with cloning.
Is this a cloned Yoda?
Yeah.
Or is this just a Yoda species?
Yeah.
And they're trying to clone it?
Yeah.
Or is this something else where, like, I read a cool theory that was like, all right, they clone Palpatine, right? But then clones can be different. Like we saw Boba Fett and Jango Fett. They're two different people, right?
Yeah.
Because you let a clone grow up. So what if they clone Palpatine, but he's not Force sensitive?
Yeah.
So now they're going to take this baby Yoda and
Yeah.
somehow figure out how to extract the midichlorians from it,
Yeah.
or do some cloning trickery to be able to create a new Palpatine that's fully Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be something like that?
But where does Snoke fit in?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Do you think they'll mention Snoke in the new movie?
I'd be surprised if they did. I wouldn't be surprised if.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot how that was just like weird. How he just got.
I would.
He seemed like a very interesting character. And then don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like, are they going to mention him?
If all we get is just a few lines of dialogue that don't even tell us that much, but at least they just reference him. Like you're going to hear Palpatine say something about Snoke.
Yeah,
that's it.
He's Force. He's not a Sith, but he's Force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
But like, who is he and why is he in charge? That's all I want to know. Is why? How is he in charge?
Who's
and
Snoke?
why? Yeah, Snoke.
Yeah,
Why? Who? How? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, maybe he was just a puppet for Palpatine.
I don't need to know why he's
full Sith.
Yeah,
he was another. What's his face? Like some of the other Darth Maul.
Yeah, but those guys were Sith.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a clone that got like botched and like
Imagine if he's a botched Palpatine clone.
That'd be cool. But he's also like 7 feet. No, he's like taller than that.
He's
like 9 feet
big,
tall.
Yeah, botched.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hardcore botched.
But all the people under Palpatine were kind of pretty quick to go. As far as besides, like, I mean, Darth Vader was probably because like Darth Maul, he dies pretty fucking fast in the course of a movie.
Well, it's because Sith work in twos, and then like you don't want your Sith Padawan or whatever apprentice to overtake you. So you have to continually keep moving on.
Yeah,
that's why he moves on from Darth Maul to Count Dooku to Darth Vader, and then he wants Luke Skywalker, which leads to his downfall.
Isn't that the thing with Jedis too? That like the masters like give themselves up for the sacrifice themselves or something.
I don't know.
Like for the people that they train.
I don't know.
What for Sith or for Jedi?
For Jedi, because there was something recently that I was like either reminded. It was like either I watched and it was just talking about that. Like I don't know if I can't remember if it was the video game or they were like, oh, your so and so like gave their life up for you.
Oh yeah, that was fucking Fallen Order. His master in the Order 66, I think, sacrificed himself for Cal.
Yeah. And then, because like Obi-Wan kind of sacrificed himself in a way. Not really sacrificed.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's just like a fucking hermit now.
Yeah.
An old wizard.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Fallen Order quickly?
Oh, before we move on, and then it's a little weird, like how I thought the Mandalorian, I thought he was going to be way more like cold. Like how he has so much more personality, and he seems like so much more human than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah,
it almost makes me feel like maybe he's not a Mandalorian, or if that's not true, then maybe he just fell into his role a little more than we think, and he's less like bred to be and more like fell into this role and am now doing the best I can. Because
I think that's exactly what it is.
His virtues seem a little more human and a little less like, I'm just a stone cold killer. He seems like he kind of like maybe took on this role and is still trying to hold on to his morals just because he wouldn't kill fucking Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't seem like cutthroat like Boba Fett.
No.
Boba Fett would have blasted that baby.
Like, I thought he was just going to be so much more hardcore, but he's just so much more open.
No, I think we're going to learn more about his backstory. And
him and his papa were cobblers before they got attacked.
Yeah, like if Order 66 and that whole war stuff didn't happen and displace all the Mandalorians and all that shit, like he would have been a cobbler.
Right.
So who are the Mandalorians?
They're just like a race.
Just a race.
They're like a barbarian race.
Yeah, that got displaced because of like some war. Right?
Yeah, they were like basically wiped out, and their planet was like there's like two different theories in or like origins and the legends or whatever, because the legends are so complicated. One was where like they never had a home planet and they had to find one, and the one they found was called Mandor, and then that's when they came with Mandalorians or whatever. And then there's another version where their first leader's name was Mandor or something. And that's where the Mandalorian name comes from. But the main origin of them being so powerful is to combat against Jedi. Because like when the Jedi rose, there was no one that could fight with a Jedi. Like no one could stand. And so they kind of developed this technology and combat skills to be able to stand up against the Jedi, and it was the Mandalorian that were the first to be able to actually kill a
So,
Jedi.
because Boba Fett wasn't an actual Mandalorian, right? He just wore the armor, or was he an actual?
No, I don't know.
He was not a Mandalorian.
No, he's a clone. And then Django, you were saying you read that.
Yeah, there was
Django
like a thing
actually
about
wasn't.
Jango Fett where even he wasn't a real Mandalorian. That he
just wore
found the armor.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and assumed the role. Yeah. So, and then there was one. There's the cool thing. There was one Mandalorian in the books that was also Force sensitive and a Jedi, and he had a fucking lightsaber, and it was like black and like electric fucking blade style. Like fucking looked pretty cool. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what comes out of the series.
Yeah.
And to see if it ties into the movie.
Yeah. I can't wait for another half-hour episode.
Yeah, right. Teaser.
All right, Jedi Fallen Order. Good game?
Great game.
Great game.
Great game.
Great game.
Yeah, definitely is.
Yeah, harder than I thought it was going to be.
It definitely is.
Yeah,
I turned down the difficulty very early on.
Yeah.
I learned that I don't want to struggle.
Yeah.
I did the default, and that still can be. It's challenging.
You did third one.
I did third just like you.
And then
I went
down
down to second.
Yeah.
But for one boss, I went all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I tried like 10 times, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm killing you.
Yeah.
So I turned it all the way down.
Well,
But
that's what I was saying.
I am playing on the second one.
Yeah, no, that's what we were talking about earlier too. That it's definitely like, especially being a Star Wars game, you figured like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what was it, Unleashed? Was that one of the other ones?
Yeah.
Which like shortly after the intro, you just can fucking shit on.
Oh,
people.
that game was insane.
So like,
fucking, you had every power.
Yeah.
You were the most powerful Jedi in the history of Jedi.
Oh yeah,
in a game.
Yeah. It was, and so like going from that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn the basics, the combat. Then I know it's just gonna be like slash whatever, move on. But then I quickly realized I was like, oh no, this is fucking tough. Like finding myself making my way through the planets and then meditating and being like,
it is
I'm resting.
so
like, fuck
Dark
it.
Souls-esque.
Yeah.
Well, like Dark Souls has the bonfires.
Yeah.
You rest at a bonfire, you fucking start back over. Like all the enemies come back. You know, but it also gives it a cool, like, grindy aspect.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you grind in this game, is that you basically just choose an area that you like, and you can just rest and go kill those same guys again.
Yeah.
And, like, try to get better at it. And, like, that's what I did early on, where I was like, all right, you know, when you go to that big tower and you find the little robot and stuff, and then when you come back and you slide down the mud hill, there's like one of those big beasts at the bottom of the hill waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
I fucking fought that thing like 10 times.
Yeah.
And just went back and rested and came back and fought it and like kept doing that until I got better at the combat. But it's definitely like, you know, the different enemies, being faced with different enemies just presents a different challenge. It's like every time you meet a new enemy, you're like, all right, you have to learn his fucking strike pattern and like when to block, then when you have a chance to strike, when to dodge, because then they all have attacks that are unblockable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of them, and they vary. Just for the small amount that I've seen, they vary pretty well. It's not just like, okay, this guy's a dodge guy, this guy's a heavy attack guy, and there we go. It's like, oh no, it's kind of a combination of them.
Yeah.
I just like how the game's a blend of like really good games. Like it's a blend of Tomb Raider. It's a blend of you know, you got a little old school Metroid with the mini map and like telling you like you can't go here, but you can go there later.
Yeah.
And you got Dark
like how
Souls.
the map does that. It shows you yellow for where you can go and red for where you can't.
Yeah.
I like that. It's so easy.
And green for places you've already been, right?
Oh yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And I just like the exploration's great.
Yeah.
I think it did
Puzzles, you got
it
puzzles.
did everything.
Reminds me of like Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the running. That last was it the Prince of Persia where you could have all the bunch of abilities, so then you'd find yourself scaling up like the side of a wall, and it was like you'd have to freeze the ice and jump on the ice.
Oh yeah,
and
that
then
was the
rewind,
last one they ever
forward.
made. Yep.
Yeah, that was actually really cool because it was just a concept.
Yeah, this reminds me of that. You have to like use your powers during the puzzles and like stop the pendulum, jump on it, then let it blow you, then jump off.
What do you think of the ice illusion parts though?
That shit's fucking tough sometimes.
Terrible.
It's hard to make the turns.
I don't.
It reminds me of like Mario 64 when you do those ice things.
Yeah, like the penguins and shit.
Yeah, the penguin when you race the penguin, and it's just so hard to make the turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're hitting the turn, and I'm holding the left stick as far to the right as I can.
Yeah,
but because I'm 1 second late, he's just.
There
not
was
gonna
parts
make
because
it.
every time you fall down the chasm, you'd lose like a smidge of health.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I had to use a stim pack.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like
I lost so much much health from falling.
Yeah.
It was just like
I did that, and then I let myself die. I didn't stim up because I was like, if I die, I'm just gonna restart and then just do something.
like there's
a little
one
bit
where you have to
different.
luge, you have to make turns, and you have to jump, land on a rope, swing across, luge more.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like losing my fucking mind. Like I'd
Yeah.
jump and I'd be centimeters from the rope, but I went at it at a weird angle, and he wouldn't grab it.
Was that the first planet?
No, the second planet.
Oh, the Zephyr with the balls.
There's a lot of luging you haven't done yet,
Oh
pal.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, because
what?
I did some
Zephyr?
luging.
Yeah.
It's my third planet.
Third, yeah.
But it's most people's second.
It's
Oh
most
yeah, no,
people's
there's
second,
a lot
yeah.
of luging.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
one
luging.
part-
Well, there's more after this. That's what you're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
There's one, and I think it's
He's
that
done it.
one. You
You have
luge, you jump over. Then there's one where you have to run. You have to grab that rope. You have to swing, and then you have to either grab or like wall run, one or the other for a little bit. But yeah, no,
they
it was
mix
a little
in
bit, it's a little
everything
bit tough.
at certain points.
Because it's exactly like that, where there's sometimes I'm like, what the fuck did I do differently to get that, or I didn't get that,
Yeah.
or like you would just like go down, and if you're not like a split hair over here, then I guess it just doesn't.
But I love the attention. Did you do the beginning of the Kashyyyk level? The third one?
No, I haven't even gotten.
Oh,
there.
that one's cool because it was actually from like one of the E3 demos where it's like you fly in, you jump out, you're in the water, and you have to climb up an AT-AT, and you take control of it, and it's like a fucking on rails shooter part
Oh, really?
where you're controlling an AT-AT and you're fucking shooting shit, and it's actually fucking pretty sweet. Like and like the attention to detail, like you climb in the AT-AT, and then you're like going through it to get to the cockpit, and like it's just I don't know. The game has great attention to detail.
I really liked when you first get on the ship with the two people, like whatever. I already forgot their names, but
what are their names?
I don't even know. I think it's
Siri?
Frank and Sally.
Siri?
Ooh.
Yeah, let's call him Jake and Sally.
Yeah.
Bug-eyed black chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks literally spot on from the actor who plays him, obviously from Shameless.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who is the actress who plays her?
I've seen.
She's
her
a
before.
freak.
Yeah. No. And the funny thing is, it was like on the tip of my tongue because I was watching.
Looks
it,
like a goldfish.
and I was like,
Yeah.
I've seen her in something, but I just
She
can't
looks like a
pinpoint
fucking
it.
like when you're hitting random on like a Mass Effect game or something, like creating
Yeah,
a
yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's just, you see this wonky ass fucking
Big
character.
bug eyes on the side
yeah.
of her head.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So someone made the eye depth of the eye, the deepness.
And I actually like the guy. He's like, turn that off and go grab some seat.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Well, that
sense.
was so. That's the one.
I like that
little
little
scene
guy.
I liked was so you first get in there, you go look at something, and then it's like, all right, we're ready to take off, and you have to like go walk back.
Yeah.
And it shows them like going into the hyperspeed. Like that little moment, I was like, oh, it felt very Star Wars.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it when you initiate a planet. You have to like go to the cockpit and you can actually watch yourself take off, go
And
into
then going to.
yeah, and I actually
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And then you sit. Then it makes you sit down to land.
Yeah.
Because other than that,
It
you
doesn't
can,
show you leaving the planet though, because it's the same. It's the same takeoff animation for every planet.
oh, is it?
So when you get in the planet and you start taking off, you never like see the planet you're leaving.
Oh yeah, you just
Like,
go like
oh,
up
cool!
into the
Like
stars.
it's the same
Yeah,
thing every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it still looks dope.
Yeah.
And the game keeps surprising me, like with stuff like that, where like I didn't expect. Like I'm like, oh, I'm going back to the thing. Oh, I'm gonna choose a planet, and in my head I've already decided like, oh, it's probably just gonna be some cheesy. But then it shows that, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. You
Yeah.
see it fucking blast off, and then I was like, I'm standing in the cockpit, and I was like, oh, I'll probably never get to sit in that chair though.
Yeah.
And then it was like, sit in the chair,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit.
yeah.
And then like even with stuff with like the lightsaber customization,
Yeah.
it's like stuff you didn't think. I didn't think going into this game that you'd be able to like choose from 12 different
complete
colors.
a whole hilt of a lightsaber.
Yeah, and like change the color. Like there's like 12 colors available.
yeah.
Like spots. Like you know what I mean. Like it's like fuck. I didn't expect a lot of that.
Did you guys get any seeds for your little?
I found
did get
one.
Yeah, I got
found-
one.
Yeah.
I found one on the red planet.
Oh, I found one on the second planet. I don't know what it's called.
Like that
Zephyr.
was a cool detail. I like that when I went over. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
What do you think are any negatives of the game?
Just technical bugs.
Clunkiness.
It would be a 10 out of 10 game. It'd be on par with like an Uncharted because it's that quality of game. It suffers from technical bugs. Like
Yeah.
there's some pop in, there's some like stuff with those side characters where like you'll go to the map and then you come back out and they're like they'll shift into place like and be standing there
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
shit like that. And
That's on my phone. I bet I recorded it and I posted it like on like the Xbox app. I was talking to her,
Yeah.
and when I would move to like look around. Like I couldn't. For one, you can't like have your character face her and then have one of the analog sticks just loop around so you can like see it. Because I wanted to make like so, but you turn your neck. So I was like turning it and I'm talking to her, but I'm facing straight and I'm just rotating the camera and my guy's character is like breaking his neck. Like looking over, like
what the
like
fuck?
Overextending and then like overextending here, and like I don't know, it was wicked funny.
Oh my god, this is unrelated to this, but I saw people on PC must have hacked Fallout 3.
Yeah,
have you seen this?
No.
You know, in the beginning of the game, he plays like a little kid, and it's like Liam Neeson as your dad.
Oh, and they zoomed out.
They zoomed out, and it's literally a human man shrunken down into a kid.
Tiny little guy.
That is so funny. Like if we could zoom out and witness what we're seeing from like a bird's eye view, like they take some liberties about like what's going on. Really,
a lot of video game is just like smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Like a lot of games load just what you see.
Oh yeah, that's how most games are.
So you just like as you're seeing your cone of vision, like everything off of your cone of vision is unloaded.
Like GTA, they're only loading like what's visible currently, like closest to you. Like so the outside, everything you see outside is barely like that's like fucking Super Nintendo graphics. Not really,
like
that's
stuff
the theory.
like from third-person shooters. Where like when you're like aiming with your gun and then you aim down, your character is not like bending over. His torso is like extending out like a worm and like creating a big like because the torso on a character who they don't need to animate like his movement doesn't move like that. Like it's the same thing like with the guy's head spinning around weird because that's where the camera is for the game is in his head. So his head needs to move for you to look around. They can't just keep his head still and then move around a camera that you look through. And then they're obviously not going to animate it perfectly to make him look around for a scene that like you're kind of not even supposed to see. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're fucking...
But there's games that could definitely... Like I played on all the Uncharted's and by the fourth one, that has some of the highest quality production budgets I've ever seen in a game. This game could have been that, but I think they needed like another year. I mean, the game, they only announced it like 2 years ago with no footage.
Right.
We only saw the first footage like a year ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was barely any footage. And it was only in this past whole year where we actually started seeing shit.
I hope they make... You think they'll make more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'd be cool if they did some... I don't know if they'd ever would do DLC, but if they like added plans.
I think I think they'll do story DLC.
Yeah.
I think so, but they haven't confirmed it at all.
And my only other criticism of the game is like the... Like I kind of don't like how quickly... Like it's my ship. Like I'm customizing a ship that's not even mine.
Yeah, like the story goes quickly with the side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as they meet me, they're like, "This is your ship." Like I'm changing the paint job on something that I don't even own.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been cooler to me if it was my ship, and then it was more of like a Mass Effect feel where I get to kind of choose the people I want to take along.
Like I like the main storyline of like the old Jedi guy. He fucking gives you like a pretty much a quest to start the rebuild of the Jedi Order.
Yeah,
like I like that, but the side characters, like the girl, like her storyline's actually kind of cool. Like she used to be a Jedi and
she gave up on the Force.
You learn more about her.
The Force.
Yeah, you learn more about her over time.
Yeah,
but like, why are you helping me? Like,
yeah.
Like, how did you like?
You're our last hope.
Yeah,
it's like I don't even know you.
Yeah. They used technology. I don't know how they figured out. They say how they found you, but it didn't really make any sense.
It's just weird how it comes to be that I'm in control of this ship now after just meeting you, and you're just willing to do whatever I want.
It would have been cooler if they just
some kind of scene where it
would have been cool if like he got caught and then he like just like in A New Hope he like found a ragtag group of people who he hires. And those are your people. They don't have to be forced anything.
Right.
It could have been like a Han Solo type and an alien.
Yeah.
They could have been the same two people. It could have been her and the guy.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're like on the same mission as you feels a little too coincidental. But it's great.
Yeah.
Can't say anything more about it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's probably a long game. It's gonna take me a while.
Yeah. There's a lot of exploring.
With my Madden addiction, I mean.
You can only fit in so much.
You can only do so much.
There's a lot of exploring. I love the exploring.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And then, like I was saying, it's like I clear an area, and I know I've got to come back once I get an ability, and I'll be able to go to more areas. But then I look at the map, and it's like 3 out of 16 chests found, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, there's so much more because I want more lightsaber colors. Have you found a lightsaber color yet?
No.
Yeah, I want more, man.
Yeah.
I want another one. I want a fourth one.
I want purple.
I just want something else.
Yeah, I want yellow.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder.
Purple
yeah.
would be probably pretty
You
cool.
think every dot is gonna be one?
Why? For colors of the lightsaber?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there slots like that in when you go to it?
Yeah, like when you go to the customizations, like when you're changing like the color of your cloak and stuff, it's like, you know, like the 3 you have, and then there's more dots.
Yeah,
that are
that's
just
in the
empty.
start. That's in the back menu. But like when you go to the workbench for the lightsaber, when you only pull up the 3 colors, is there? I don't think there is slots for.
Yeah,
other
it just
colors.
shows like spots where there could be.
Oh, okay.
Because then like I found like another ship color. I found like another cloak
Yeah,
thing,
me too. Yeah.
and it's not like the next one.
Yeah, no,
It'd
it's
be like
actual
one-
spots. Like they're not.
It'd be like
next to each
one
other.
down here off
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
left. Like
yeah.
so, the color is the same setup.
They're assigned to certain chests.
Right.
Like that hilt for that whatever is in that chest in this planet.
Yeah.
They're not random.
Right.
So-
So I wonder, like, is there gonna be that many colors
I don't know.
to choose from? Like fucking 10 colors.
I want like a multicolor, like striped.
You like rainbow?
Yeah.
Rainbow. I want black.
Yeah, because if you like you said, if you do Google, you do Google all the lightsaber colors, the black is considered a color because of that guy.
Yeah.
Black would be sick if it was like it was black, but then like the glow it gave off was like a blue.
Yeah.
Or like
Yes.
like especially
Oh,
if you were
cool.
going through stuff,
Yes.
like
Yes.
it looked black, but it gave off. That would be sick too.
Yas.
If it
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, this is our longest podcast in a long time.
didn't.
It is
subjects.
1 hour and 41 minutes.
Oh jeez.
All right.
All right, let's end it here.
Yeah, that's
All right.
on the good note.
We'll be back next week for Return of the Jedi.
Tidy, hidey ho.
Bye bye.